The High Court in Belfast has ruled granting immunity to people accused of crimes during the Troubles is in breach of the European Convention on Human Rights. The Northern Ireland Secretary, HEATON-HARRIS, told the Commons the government still intends to implement what's called the Legacy Act in full.
It's a very complex case. I'm told the judgment runs to over 200 pages, and I am yet to see it. It will take some time to consider, but we will consider Mr Justice Colton's findings very, very carefully. But we do remain committed to implementing the Legacy Act.
Let's bring in our Ireland correspondent Stephen Murphy now for more on this. Stephen, good afternoon to you. Just take us through the significance of this decision by the High Court in Belfast.
Well, this is a landmark challenge, Kamali, against this very controversial legislation that became law back in September of last year, despite being opposed by every single political party here in Northern Ireland and victims groups and campaigners, and also the Irish government in Dublin, which is actually taking the UK to court in a separate case at the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg. And that's only the second time in history that's happened. So that will give you an idea of just how vehemently opposed this legislation was by pretty much everybody on the island of Ireland. But today's events here at the High Court in Belfast was essentially the first verdict of a court, the first legal challenge to the legality of this Legacy Act. There were a number of declarations made by the High Court judge here at the High Court this afternoon, but really the key one was the finding that one of the core key elements of this legislation, that offering conditional immunity to those suspected of carrying out crimes during the Troubles on condition that they cooperate with a new information finding commission, was in fact in breach of human rights laws. It's in breach of Articles 2 and 3 of the European Convention on Human Rights. So that is a very significant finding, and it is something, as you heard there from the Northern Ireland Secretary of State, that the UK government is really going to have to consider, and to consider what their next step may be. Certainly the families that we spoke to here, bereaved families who have lost their loved ones during their Troubles, they are regarding this as a victory. They say it's going to put pressure on the government in London to go back to the drawing board. One of those is Martina Dillon. Her husband Seamus was shot dead by loyalist gunmen in 1997, and this is what she had to say after today's ruling.
It's time for them to wake up. Do not see the suffering we're going through. Have we not gone through enough? How much more do they want to put us through? I'm living 26 years, pure hell. Have I to go now 26 years? Is this going to be my life? Or am I going to get the truth and justice which I'm entitled to?
A lot of emotion on display outside the courtroom here today. It was a bit of a mixed bag legally. The judge dismissed some of the applicants' claims in terms of other legal arguments, but really the core issue, immunity, was the entire enticement for people to come forward and to work with this new independent fact-finding commission. And if that has been recommended to be disapplied by the court here in Belfast, it really will give the UK government cause for concern. Many people here think it will also buttress the case being taken against the UK by the Irish government in the European Court of Human Rights. So we'll wait and see what the response from the British government will be, but we do expect an appeal to be lodged.
Indeed. All right, Stephen, for now in Belfast, appreciate that. Thank you.